Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, Bayan Muna Representative Eufemia Cullamat seeks the help of the Commission on Human Rights over the alleged desecration of her daughter's body killed in a military clash. President Rodrigo Duterte making it clear that Makabayan Bloc members are communists, but lawmakers deny the accusations, calling this a diversionary tactic. And what sanctions are in store for government officials found violating health protocols. Defense Secretary and National Task Force Against COVID-19 Chairman Delfin Lorenzana joins us live. Bayan Muna Representative Eufemia Cullamat has filed a complaint over the military's supposed desecration of her daughter's remains. In her letter to the Commission on Human Rights Tuesday, Cullamat said the military paraded and displayed her daughter's body like a trophy won by soldiers who posed in the background. The military said Cullamat's 22-year-old daughter, Jevelyn, a medic for the New People's Army, was killed on Saturday in a firefight between government troops and armed rebels. They said the photo was taken for evidence-gathering purposes. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. Secretary Lorenzana, welcome to the source and maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Good morning, Pinky. Thank you for having me.
Secretary, so let's start with this. Ang sinabi nga po ni Congresswoman Cullamat, para daw ginawang trophy yung kanyang anak na ipinanalo ng mga sundalo. Let me just ask you, do you agree that there could have been something wrong wherein there was that photo that circulated where soldiers were actually seen posing behind the remains of Jevelyn?
Yeah, I don't agree with the accusation of Congresswoman Cullamat that the remains of her daughter was desecrated. Our soldiers have always respected the fallen fighters, NPA, Abu Sayyaf, or whatever, and they had been the practice kasi noon, Pinky, was that since the beginning, since we started fighting this CPP-NPA in 1970s, is wherever the fallen fighter is killed, kumukuha kami ng picture, kinukuha na ng picture yan. And this picture is for our consumption only. And for some reason, the picture of Jevelyn Cullamat found itself in the media, and yun ang nakita. But the remains was brought to the town. They carried the body by, because they didn't have any transportation, they carried the body by lifting the body. To people, to soldiers, brought the body down to the town and brought to, and turned over the remains to the family. And that has always been the practice of the soldiers ever since. Now, matagal namang nangyayari ito na mamatay tapos na mayroong minsan may mga pictures na gano'n. Why is Congresswoman Cullamat only complaining now because it is her daughter? Ibig sabihin wala siyang pakialam sa namatay na nauna. There are thousands of fighters already that were killed, NPA fighters since the beginning. And nobody was complaining from them. Okay lang, namamatay sila, but kung anak niya hindi maganda. I think we have respected all the remains of the fallen fighters of the NPA since the beginning, Pinky.
Secretary, so photos are normally taken of fallen, of casualties in an armed encounter. But is it normal, this is what I'd like to know, Secretary, from you, that the soldiers actually pose behind the body or behind the remains of those killed?
Yeah. That was wrong. That was wrong. I do not approve of that action, Pinky. Hindi dapat gawin yun. Maybe they could pose behind firearms or any other equipment, but not behind bodies of fallen
Right.
fighters.
You know, Secretary, I ask that because, you know, even I see raw photos of those who die during encounters. But this, to me, maybe I've not seen enough. That's why I wanted to get clarification from you. This was the remains of well, the daughter of the congresswoman, and then the soldiers, kasi sir, were behind her. It seemed that maybe that gives the impression to the mother na parang ginawang trophy yung kanyang anak.
Oh, yeah. Well, meron siyang punto dyan na mga Pinky. That's why we are coming up with directives again to the JHQ, to the people, to the troops, not to do this again. And kung pwede lang, huwag mo nang i-publish yung mukha until such time that we are able to turn over the remains to the families or to anybody that will claim the body.
Mm-hmm. So, to be clear, Secretary, that photo was wrong.
Yeah, that's right. That was
That
a
particular
correct.
photo.
Now, why they posted it in social media or whatever, I don't know. But it was uncalled for. It was wrong to do that. Yeah. And I understand the feeling
There
of
are certain violations.
Pardon?
Opo. Secretary, also to be clear on this, they are alleging that there are certain violations here. For example, violation of international humanitarian law, wherein in the Article 16 of the Geneva Convention, you shall protect all killed against pillage and ill treatment. Isasama ko na rin po yung isa pa that si Jevelyn is supposedly, according to the military, a medic of the NPA. And according, sir, to the rules of war under international humanitarian law, nakasulat daw that permanent medical personnel shall be respected and protected at all times. They may not be made the object of attack, but may not participate in hostilities either. Do you see a possible violation dito po sa pagkamatay din ni Jevelyn?
No, Pinky, I don't see any violation there because first, she was with armed group that encountered our troops. Pangalawa, wala naman siyang uniforme saying na medic siya. Unlike in our case, we have ambulances that are properly marked. In fact, when the Red Cross, International Committee of the Red Cross vehicles go around the conflict area, they travel with a white vehicle na napakalaki yung cross doon. So how do our troops know that she was a medic? Nando kasama siya doon. And so kasama siya ng armado. In fact, our troops recovered several firearms from the group that were encountered. Kasama na doon si Jevelyn. And if you look at the picture that was posted in the newspaper and the media, talagang wala naman siyang palatandaan na siya ay medic.
Mm-hmm.
So, sa tingin ko, wala namang violation niya sa international humanitarian law.
What is the implication, though, Secretary, of Jevelyn's death to the mom and to the Makabayan Bloc? What does this actually tell you?
I think the death of Jevelyn Cullamat during an encounter, and she was with a group of NPA, and in fact, her mother, Congresswoman Cullamat, praised her son, her daughter, saying that it is just right for her to join the NPA to avenge the alleged abuses of the soldiers against the Lumads. You know? Now, this bring to the fore the connection between the NPA and the Makabayan Bloc. Alangan namang hindi alam ni Congresswoman Cullamat na NPA pala yung anak niya. In fact, one of her siblings was also an NPA, and he was caught apprehended earlier. So alam niya, and this group is fighting the government. They are waging their armed struggle, which they waged since 1969. And what does it say na she is with the government as a congresswoman and yet tolerate a group to fight the government. So, ang connection dyan is napakaliwanag. They can deny all they want, the Makabayan Bloc, but everybody knows. We know in the military, the president knows it, that they are actually the front, the Makabayan Bloc, and all those legal fronts are the fronts of the CPP-NPA.
We'll be taking a very short break. The Source will be right back. Welcome back to The Source. Our guest today, Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. I want to pick up from where we left off, Secretary Delfin. Sabi niyo po that these groups, the Makabayan Bloc, are legal fronts of the Communist Party. Correct, sir?
Yes. Kasama na yung mga grupo, the legal fronts. Because the Makabayan Bloc are representing some of the legal fronts of the CPP-NPA. Bayan, Makabayan, Gabriela, those were correctly identified by the President the other night. So we believe, we know that they have been fronting for the CPP-NPA for the longest time. In fact, it was Jose Maria Sison who identified them as working for their cause. So ano pa ba yung ating hinahanap na pruweba kung hindi itong sinabi ng kanilang founder ng CPP-NPA at saka NDF, nagsasabing ito yung mga tumutulong sa ating mga legal fronts. Ito yung mga nila.
Secretary, of course, I'm sure you know that Joma Sison already denied that, saying that video was actually spliced. But let me move on to what the President said the other night. Ang sabi po niya, itong mga legal fronts ng komunista, lahat yan, Makabayan, Bayan, they are all legal fronts. Gabriela, we are not red tagging you. This is what the President said. We are identifying you as members in a grand conspiracy comprising all the legal fronts you have organized, headed by the NDF and the New People's Armies. With the President saying that, and of course you also saying that they are the legal front of the Communist Party, what's next?
Yeah, I agree with the President's statement the other night. In fact, we have known all along since the beginning that these organizations are fronting for the CPP-NPA. And what's next? We are still thinking of what to do the next, because they are members of Congress and they have the legal stature to be there in Congress, and we will keep on exposing their connection with the CPP-NPA. Remember one time, some other time before, when there is an NPA that were killed or apprehended in the mountains, some people from the Makabayan Bloc organized defense lawyers to fight for the release of these people. So, maliwanag, Pinky, na they have been working for the CPP-NPA. They keep saying that they are not, but their actions belie their claims.
Yes. But you must have evidence, Secretary Delfin. What kind of solid evidence do you have to actually link them?
I think the evidence is there, can be seen very clearly. Pagka mayroong mga rallies niyan, Pinky, nandyan yung flag ng CPP-NPA, magkakatabi yan, nandyan yung Akbayan, nandyan din yung Gabriela, they're all together. Ano po ba ang hahanapin nating proof? They said, prove it. But it's there. Ano po bang proof ang kailangan natin? Magkakasama naman sila palagi. Yung mga kadamay na yan, kasama din nila yan. And there are former rebels that are with us now telling us their story with the CPP-NPA, how they have contacts with its Makabayan leaders in the mountains. So ang connection nila is very clear. And who can refute the statement of these former leaders, former MPA, former CPP, NPA cadres? They're in the open now. They have been telling their story, how they were used, how they were recruited. So kasama na lahat yan. So I don't know why they still want proof.
The statement of Congresswoman Cullamat, I think this was either this was a press release or part of her complaint before the Commission on Human Rights Secretary. Or at some point, she had said that ginagamit ng gobyerno yung nangyari kay Jevelyn para sa red tagging and terrorist tagging sa kanya, sa pamilya ko, at buong Makabayan Bloc. So, would you automatically say that the Congresswoman and the Makabayan Bloc, so sinabi mo na legal fronts of the Communist Party of the Philippines, but are they terrorists?
Yeah, correct. I think marami din kasing membro ng family ni Congresswoman Cullamat that are now in the NPA. Anak niya, kapatid niya. So ano pa bang prueba natin? Tsaka isa pa, the connection is so clear. Inorganize sila ni Jose Maria Sison to be on the above ground yan eh. That is an above ground organization before when the CPP NPA was still outlawed in the Philippines. So ito yung nilabas nila. And it works.
Right.
Sabi niya, it's composed of progressive forces that will help the revolution.
Mm-hmm.
So ito yung connection na nakikita namin. And we have been fighting the CPP NPA for more than 50 years na, Pinky. And alangan namang hindi namin alam kung sino yung kalaban namin. It is only now that we have crafted what we think is a winning formula, a winning strategy to eliminate the CPP NPA. Ang sabi ko nga noon sa isang hearing dyan sa Congress, when I was asked by Congressman Carlos Zarate, what do I think of the legal fronts? Mm-hmm. Sabi ko, if the legal front is fronting for an illegal organization like the CPP-NPA, illegal din siya. Alangan namang legal siya pero yung ginagawa niya sa illegal. So this should be a connection or ang tawag nitong relationship between dito. Hindi pwedeng legal dito, illegal naman itong pinopost nila dito.
At illegal sa kabila. Opo.
Sa kabila.
But are they, how would you describe it now? Because again, you said legal front sila. So, na-red tag na ho ba ang Makabayan Bloc? Or some would call it, I think some government officials would call it truth tagging. How would you call it?
Yeah, as the President said, we are not red tagging you, we are identifying you. Kailangan ilabas na natin sila dahil they are hiding behind this legal front term. Legal front kami above ground, you cannot catch us because we are doing legal things. Now, ilabas na natin sila. Ano ba talaga ang purpose nila sa buhay? Ano ba talaga ang purpose nila? Kundi manggulo, mag-rally, supporting all the other groups here in the Philippines that are trying to destabilize the government. So ito yung ginagawa nila. But they consider themselves as legitimate na nasa taas na hindi sila pinimagalaw. I think we should demolish that argument for them. Kasi parang they are just trying to hoodwink the Filipino people. Illegal fund sila. But in fact, they are not. They are fronting for an illegal organization, the CPP-NPA.
Very quick question before we go on a break, Secretary. There's this talk of possibly lang, a proposal to criminalize red tagging. Do you agree?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so that we are criminalizing red tagging. Siguro naman pagka yung red tagging is just to force these people to come out and tell the truth. tell the truth, because they are not doing. Maybe we cannot catch them doing illegal things like bearing arms against the government. Kasi nandiyan nga sila sa mga syudad. They are in Congress, so we cannot prove that. In fact, they keep saying that they are not armed, they are not fighting the government. It's true, but what they are doing on the slide is what's wrong. What we think is wrong. Kasi this insurgency has been going on for 51 years now. I think it's time to stop it because it is destroying our country.
Secretary, we need to take another short break. We will be right back. Secretary Lorenzana, is there still a possibility of resuming peace talks with the CPP?
Yes, the peace talks, the government is ready, the president is ready, but kailangan lang natin ng what we want for them is a little bit of sincerity. Kasi napakinggan naman natin yung sinabi ni Halandone, Father Halandone, na the peace talk is only a means to advance the revolutionary movement of the CPP-NPA. So yung peace talks, instrument lang yan, it's not the end in itself. So ang sabi ko nga doon sa I dare the Makabayan Bloc to first denounce the CPP-NPA, or they should renounce their armed struggle, and we work together. If they really want this country to progress.
And if they...
Yes?
And if they do that, hindi na po sila tatawaging, hindi na sila ma-identify na komunista.
Pinky, the Communist Party of the Philippines is authorized actually by law until such time that we'll be able to declare them as terrorist organization by law. So, pwede naman silang lumabas eh. They can put up their, they are a party by itself, and they are the only political party in the Philippines na merong armed group, yung NPA. That terrorize people in the countryside during election. Sila yung nag-ano ng mga permit to campaign and everything that they do there para manalo yung kandidato nila. So dapat they should stop those actions. Sabi ko nga kung itigil nila yung extortion nila ng mga businesses all over the country, stop the attack on soldiers and civilians, policemen, stop yung sabotaging the infrastructure project of the government, and then come down and let us talk. And okay ang gobyerno dyan, but for as long as they are waging this war against the government, I myself will advise the president not to resume the peace talks.
Okay, very quickly, Sec. Delfin, I just want to get your thoughts about these gatherings na nangyayari, sir, kay Senator Pacquiao, kay Secretary Harry Roque, and even last night, natuloy po yung night market sa Baguio City na kinancel naman kinalaunan ni Mayor Benji Magalong. Sir, can you give us just guidance here dito sa mga at least itong tatlong nangyari?
Yeah, hindi kasi maganda yung ganong nakikita sa media, Pinky, na we are enforcing these protocols in other places tapos yung iba violating it. So we do not approve that at the IATF. We call the attention of those organizers. I think Governor Gwen Garcia for the Bantayan event, and now Mayor Magalong. Fortunately, he stopped the night market at pero alauna na. It was already 1 o'clock in the morning, so there was already intermingling of people. Hopefully, they maintain the proper distancing and mask always. Yeah. And sana walang increase ng cases sa Baguio City.
Opo. So clearly, you want this discouraged, sir. Hindi na ho dapat ginagawa itong mga to?
Yes, not yet, please. Mahirap na. We are happy with
Okay.
We are happy with what we're doing now. Mababa na eh. Yesterday was only 1,300 lang kaso. It's very good. It's very good. And we want to bring that down to 3 digits by December, by the end of December.
We hope that happens. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, sir, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Maraming salamat din, Pinky.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.